ahead. I'm going to start recording. So thank you very much for coming tonight or this morning, wherever it is in your part of the world. My name is Trisha Wanjala, and I'm super excited to be able to go through 4 secrets on how you can launch your profitable beauty brand. And as you can see, it's being streamed on Facebook so that our friends on Facebook can also enjoy this wherever they are. We realize some are on the road in transit. Either way, this will not stop you from getting the most benefit from all the cool stuff we're going to learn today. So this is a masterclass, it is a free training. So whatever you get will be actionable, you'll be able to use it, and you'll be able to see a difference in your business if you apply these strategies. So we'll go ahead and start. I shall share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen, y'all.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Okay, so before we go through these 4 secrets, I've met some of you before, but I haven't met, there's 1 or 2 who I haven't met. So please feel free to type in the chat and tell us where you're from. And briefly, you can just type in the chat and tell us what sort of business or what sort of product you are thinking of launching. So if it's hair care, you can just write hair care. If it's skincare, you can write skincare. If it's both, you can write both. And then that way I'll know how to tailor the presentation so that you get the most benefit. And if you don't have an idea yet, that's also fine. Let me know in the chat, and then we can also help you in the presentation on how you can generate an idea pretty fast on which products you could begin launching. So thank you so much for sharing. I see there's an answer there, hair care. Great. Okay, Tanya, this is good. We'll definitely help you with that. So let's go ahead and start. 4 secrets on how to launch your profitable beauty brand. So this training will help you go from 0 to profits. And as you can see, it's going to use something special that we call the STAR system. So here we go. I'm just going to turn off my camera so that it's less distracting. So the STAR system tonight in our training, or today, depending on where you are in the world, is a method that I'm going to use to show you how you can make the ultimate shift from struggling to launch your business, from struggling to launch your beauty product idea. Perhaps you're feeling stretched too thin, maybe you're feeling confused as to what to do or where to go forward or how to start. So this is going to shift you from there to give you a clear path to predictable profits and success. And if you stay with me till the end, I do value your time. I know you could be doing other things. So I have a special bonus for you. If you decide to work with me as we go on this journey to launch your product brand, I will give you a special bonus. So the details will all be given at the end of this free training. So how to get the most benefit from this training or from this masterclass? Number 1, be present, which you already are. Thank you. We're very grateful that you've committed to yourself. You've used your time so that you can be able to benefit. So number 2, take notes. If you have a pen and paper, it's great. It's actually better than typing on your phone, because with the pen, it really makes a mark so that in your subconscious level, you remember what you've learned. I will make it valuable for you. So if you are willing to commit and give me your full attention, please type yes in the chat. If you're committed for the next hour that you'll be here with me, just type yes. And then that way we can both commit to giving each other full value. Thank you. I see a lot of yeses. Wonderful. And be sure to ask questions. There will be a live Q&A at the end, and stay until the end for a special bonus. So the first thing we're going to do is a quick exercise. So some of you, as I know from my previous conversations with you, may have already come up with a business idea. Some of you already have a product that's on the market, but I do realize that it's just a beginning and you have many great things that you're waiting to release into the world. So we're going to do a quick exercise. Since you do have a pen and paper, we won't do the full exercise right now, but we're going to lay the foundation. According to Tony Robbins, how do successful entrepreneurs get to their goals? They start with a blank sheet of paper and the end in mind. So if you start with the end in mind, and then now you're going to reverse formulate and see how you can get there. Reverse formulation, for those who are new to the field of product manufacturing, is basically how the chemists or the scientists take one of the top beauty products made by a competitor. They look at it, they analyze the ingredients, and then they create it. So they formulate it not from a formulation, but from going backwards. So we're going to go backwards with your success. So right now, let's begin with the end in mind, about the brand that you have, the vision that you have in your mind. So this is the exercise. Number one is you're going to grab a sheet of paper, and later on, if you don't have Post-its right now where you're seated, you can do this afterwards, because it's going to take about 10 minutes and we're not going to use that time right now. So later on, you're going to take 10 minutes, put on some awesome music, and get your Post-it notes, and you're going to write down your idea, the one product idea that you wish to start with. So you just write it down. On each Post-it note, you write down anything related to that idea, any insights, any features, whether it's marketing, whether it's what it will contain, who will buy it, where it will be sold, what it will smell like, how it will be used. You're going to write all of that down. So right now in your notes, you can note that down. And then later you're going to do this proper product vision brainstorm. If you already have a product that you started with, this strategy could help you with the bigger picture of your business, or even the rest of the product range. So if you already have a body butter, you're thinking, what should come next? Is it a body scrub? Is it a lotion? Write all of that down on the Post-it notes, and then you can put them all together. Once you've written them down, you'll organize them into steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. If you feel like there are gaps, you can always put a question mark, note down whatever questions come to mind, or even ask yourself, how might I do it? Even if I don't have the answer, how might I do it? If I had the answer, what would the answer look like? So that way you're actually freeing your imagination to come up with a wonderful vision that could become a reality. It could lead to a fantastic product. Okay. So this is the 10-minute product blueprint. Within a very short time, you'll find that you actually have a tiny miniature business plan or even a product plan. So that's one of the exercises that top entrepreneurs use so that they can go from idea to a profitable business. Okay. So now you officially have your first draft of a beauty business blueprint, just like this lady here on the right. She has brainstormed about her product, and she's now arranging the Post-it notes on the clear glass. And this way, she'll be able to come up with an actual step-by-step strategy. So I'm trying to see the notes because the Zoom, the Zoom thing is covering half the page. But anyway, tonight we're going to learn this idea that's in your head. How are we going to make it into a reality? And we're going to use the STAR method. So are you in the right place? You're in the right place if, number one, you're excited about creating a hair care or skincare product which can earn you millions per year, while impacting the lives of thousands of people and giving you the freedom you desire. So that could be one reason why you're here. Number two, this is for you if you're intrigued by the idea that you can use a proven step-by-step system to get your product brand from an idea to a lucrative and predictable income generating system. Number three, still answering the question of, are you in the right place? Maybe this is you. Are you an ambitious legacy builder? Perhaps your interest is to build a scalable business that you can be able to leave for your family, for the next generation, to create employment. You know, are you trying to build something for posterity so that you can own your future in this uncertain job market? So you could be one of these three. Number one, excited about the earning potential of launching a beauty business. Or number two, you're a freedom seeker and you don't really see yourself going into full-time employment, or maybe you'd like to quit full-time employment if that's where you are. Number three, you're a legacy builder who's creating an empire for posterity, for the next generation. So feel free to type in the chat. Are you number one, number two, or number three? Which one are you? Tell me in the comments. Nice, lots of comments coming up. I like, it says all three. Okay, nice one. And that is perfectly good. So whatever your motivation for being here, I support you 100%. And that's why we came up with the STAR system. If we haven't already met, I want to take 2 minutes to introduce myself. My name is Trisha Wanjala. 10 years ago, I founded Africa's largest online natural hair community. And I have been a pioneer in this natural hair industry, founded Trisha's Naturals, of which it was a Facebook community, it still is. And out of our 7 admin, 5 of them are now successful beauty brand owners. 2 of us are in Kenya, 1 is in California. No, actually 3 of us are in Kenya, 1 is in California, and 1 is in Germany. But they're all African ladies, and they came up with these different profitable businesses. Our space has incubated many of the current brands who are playing in the same field in our region, as well as the natural hair salons, the influencers, the bloggers. In fact, we are privileged because on tonight's training, we do have one of the OGs, Tanya, who has been a natural hair influencer for many years. Our brand has been recognized by multinationals such as L'Oreal, Hako Industries, Godrej, and Unilever. We pivoted from only being a community to becoming a product brand about 1.5 years ago. We basically launched officially last March at the beginning of the pandemic. And currently we have 30 SKUs and we have retailers in Europe, Africa, and North America. And our products are sold in more than 55 outlets. So, your turn. I've told you a bit about me and you told me about yourself, but this is a bit of trivia. Do you know of a lady who comes from, is she from Barbados or Bahamas? A musical maven, and she had a moniker called Bad Girl. And she's now the proprietor of Fenty Beauty. Comment below what her name is, you guys, because we have to also celebrate her in this podcast. I mean, in this webinar. Who knows who we're talking about? Who's the owner of Fenty Beauty? Barbados, thank you. Yeah, it was in Bahamas, my goodness. Yes, Ms. Rihanna. Yes, we're going to make some noise for her because what she's doing is totally related to what we're learning here. This is the breaking news that came out this month. I'm sure you all are aware of this, that Rihanna is now a billionaire. And this is not from her singing career. This is from her beauty business, Fenty Beauty, which she started in 2017. So looking at ladies like this is a real inspiration because it shows us that our ambition, the reason you're here tonight to build a profitable beauty brand, it's not just a dream, it's something that can happen. She came from a country that was is considered third world. She may not have had so many privileges as other people are. You know, she's not exactly a white male, but look at now at her success. She's now a billionaire, second only to Oprah. And guess whose footsteps she's following, which are really inspirational? Madam C.J. Walker. Okay, this is Viola Davis, obviously. Is she Viola Davis? Anyway, this is the actress who played Madame C.J. Walker. And most of you have watched this movie, Self-Made. It showed the first self-made African-American woman millionaire. And she was not just the first African-American female millionaire, she was the first female millionaire in the US. This was before civil rights. This was actually in the year 1918. So I need you guys to listen to that, because this was in the middle of a recession. In 1918, the people had just finished the First World War. There was no money in the economy, the way people are saying now there's no money. There was a Spanish flu pandemic, just like we are in a pandemic. And this woman was a maid. She was a housemaid. But guess what? She decided, I'm going to create and launch my beauty business, and see where it took her. She became one of the first multimillionaires and the first female multimillionaire. So I'm saying this to say that there is a huge opportunity. Creating and launching a profitable beauty product business is one of the most powerful and strategic ways to make an impact in the world while growing your income and freedom to life-changing levels. She was able to change her life, plus the life of so many women who she employed and men, and her brand is still existing even today. It was actually bought by, the CJ Walker brand has recently been bought by Shea Moisture, and Shea Moisture was bought by Unilever. So her brand still lives on. You can find it in the US. So these stories inspire us, and they show us that it's not just a dream, it can become a reality. So this is more of her history, just showing from Wikipedia that she was making her money up until 1919, even before she had equal rights. I mean, this was before they could even use the same bathroom that white people do. So there is an opportunity, even in a recession. You can launch a profitable beauty product business, and this can change your life and that of many people around you. So why now? Why is now the best time to take action on your idea? Well, the beauty business is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And right now, e-commerce is booming. Since the pandemic hit, most people are shopping online. They're buying on Facebook, they're buying on Instagram, and the world is now borderless. We were literally speaking with our DHL sales rep, and she says, since huge companies are no longer shipping, large volumes, these global giants like DHL are making their money from small, tiny manufacturers like us, small people who are creating products in their homes, in their tiny little facilities. These indie businesses are the ones that are now keeping the giants like DHL afloat. So wherever you live, wherever you're located, you can sell to anybody, anywhere in the world. So thanks to e-commerce, the boom that we have, and thanks to people's consciousness shifting where they are trying to support small businesses rather than enriching these huge multinationals, this billion-dollar industry, the beauty industry, is something where you can get a slice of the pie. So now is the best time. If you've been thinking of starting your business, there's no time like the present. It's the best time to leverage your uniqueness to get your business off the ground. So how does this sound to you? How does the idea sound to launch your unique cosmetic business brand and finally hold your very own best-selling product in your hand? Does that sound good? Please type yes in the chat if you feel that this idea excites you. Imagine what it would feel like to run a fun profit. I see more yeses. Thank you. Yes. Imagine what it would feel like to run a fun, profitable business that truly lights you up. Yeah, as we can see the picture on the beach, having the flexibility, having time freedom, having sales inquiries coming in from near and far, having great testimonials, because you've genuinely solved somebody's problems of their skincare, their confidence, their hair care. You've improved the quality of their lives. How does this sound to you? To finally have a solid way to build a profitable business from idea to tons of raving fans and repeat customers. Yeah, so perhaps you have this idea, it's a burning idea that you have and you're thinking, I wonder if I should launch this, will it work, will it not work? Well, you're in the right place. We're going to show you how to figure that out. For those who've just joined, we are going to use this STAR system so that we can help you launch your dream business. What is the STAR system? Why the STAR system? Well, story time. This is Alexander the Great, and there's a legend of the Gordian knot. Over here on the bottom right, you can see this giant knot that these men are struggling to unravel, but do you think they're going to succeed? From the way they're going, from the look of things, they don't look like they're being very successful. Basically, there is a legend, and it was a real place called Gordia, and there was a Gordian knot. And inside the city square, there was this knot. It wasn't a giant knot, but it was a rather difficult, big knot. And whoever was going to unravel it was told now he would be the leader of that city. So many men came and they tried and they couldn't figure it out. But Alexander the Great, when he came, he didn't bother trying to unravel it. He just took his sword and he sliced it. And that was it, because there was nowhere in the fine print where it said you had to do it the hard way. So true story. I mean, Alexander the Great was the leader of Greece back when it was the world power. And that's how he conquered that city. So the reason we're learning about this is because there's two ways of doing business. There's the easy way and there's the hard way. So the hard way is if we're trying to figure out everything by ourselves, like these men over here trying to unravel this knot. The easy way is when you have a system that's already proven. Alexander knew that a sword will work. It can cut through objects which, are difficult to untie. So this STAR system that we came up with, we are going to show you how you can use it to cut through all the difficulties that are unnecessary, that hold so many of us back from launching our profitable beauty product business. So there are 4 steps in the STAR system. It's an acronym, STAR. So you're going to learn step number 1, start. How to start miles ahead of your competition and wow your customers. That's through number 1. Number 2, when you're going to market, how do you get clarity? How do you validate your offer so that you don't waste money coming up with a product that flops, or rather that people don't like? Number 3, we're going to learn about administration. How do you create the best foundation so that your business can grow rapidly and it can scale using proven systems? Number 4, the resilient mindset, the mindset of a millionaire. How do we get from where we are to where we'd like to be? So in today's masterclass, we're going to learn these 4 things. So do you wonder if you've really got what it takes to build a legitimate product business? Maybe you worry about investing in it and it fails. Where will you find the facility or the quality raw materials? How will you find your clients and sell to them? Maybe you have the time, but how do you get funding? How do you get capital? Or perhaps you have capital, but you're wondering, how much time will this take from your current activities, your income generating activities? Well, we're going to start with number 1. STAR secret number 1 is basically your story. So my background is I worked as a communications consultant and I worked as a journalist. So I'm very keen on storytelling. And when I went into manufacturing products and marketing, I learned that, oh, guess what? People don't buy products, they buy stories. So how do you make sure that your product has a unique story that will appeal to your target audience? Once you have this story and it explains about your own experience, your own uniqueness, the problem you're solving, then you have no competition because there's nobody who can duplicate your exact story. So for example, the CEO of Shea Moisture, his name is Rich Dennis. And his story is he came from Liberia. He moved to the US in the 90s. And before that, in Liberia, he used to watch his grandmother making all these whipped butters using shea butter and other local oils. And then, when the war came and he fled to the US, he was a student. And when he was in college, he started mixing up the same oils because he saw that people didn't really have a lot of products that were natural. And so he would hawk those products in New York from his college dorm, and people loved them. And so slowly by slowly, his brand grew because he had that unique story. He had that unique background. And for the longest time, Shea Moisture has always pledged to send back money to the women in West Africa so that they can be able to take care of their families and villages the same way his grandmother took care of him. So can you imagine a story like that? Everybody has a story. You have a story, I have a story. So if you'd like to start your business, before thinking, oh, which product will make me money, start by thinking, oops, sorry. I think I suddenly got muted. How far did you guys go? Type in the chat so that I know where I should start talking. Where did you guys lose me? Start by Tanya. Start by. Did I talk about Shea Moisture? How I can make money? Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so the story of Rich Dennis, the CEO of Shea Moisture, that's what was compelling. That's why people were like, oh, there's something called shea butter and these products have it, and women in Africa and their communities. So people buy stories, they don't buy products. So rather than thinking, oh, which product, start by thinking of your story. So even Madame C.J. Walker, who we spoke about, the first female multimillionaire, self-made, she started with her story. Her hair was falling out. She was in an abusive relationship. She had low self-esteem. She was half bald. And then, a lady showed her how to mix these concoctions in the kitchen, and her hair grew back and her confidence. And then she went now selling that to other women who needed to feel confident about themselves and who needed to be able to look presentable in their community. There's a lady in California, her name is Nyakio, and she has a really good skincare brand that sells in Ulta and Sephora. And Nyakio is originally from Kenya. And the reason her products sell so well is not just because they're organic skincare. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of organic skincare products, but it's because of her story. She talks about how growing up on the foothills of Mount Kenya, her grandmother would pick the beans from the coffee farm and grind them and use them to make like a facial scrub and, use all these organic things from their farm to make skincare. She packaged that story into a product, and I mean, her products were bought. She was also now bought by Unilever. So you get what I'm saying. If you want to have the number one secret to start a profitable beauty business, is you start with your unique story. Okay, so what is your story? Do you have a story? Comment below in the chat, say yes if you have a story. I don't personally know anyone who doesn't have a story. But yeah, we all have a story. Yes, thank you. Everybody says yes, yes, yes. And indeed, most of the people we've talked to who are interested in launching their beauty brand, they've either had like their wife struggled with acne and she found a solution, so now she wants to start her brand, or we couldn't find a certain product, or we had eczema. So that's a great story, and we're going to learn more about that. Okay, so number 2, going to the market. Once we have our story, we package that into a product. How do we know that this product is actually going to sell when we take it to the market? So in the STAR system, we have a proven framework that will help you validate your offer. Now, on the right hand, you can see some beautiful cosmetics, probably like the ones you are going to create in your business. On the left, you're wondering, Trisha, why are there all these loaves of bread? Yeah. Why are we looking at a bread aisle in the supermarket? Well, the reason is sometimes we get naysayers who tell us, oh, but you know, the market is saturated. If you're doing, you know, a deodorant or a body butter or an acne cream or a beard serum, there's like 52 million of those. Well, look at the bread aisle. There's so many different brands of bread, but every year manufacturers come up with new brands of bread and they still sell. So if you're wondering, should I launch my product because there are already so many people doing the same thing, the fact that there are many of them, the fact that there's competition actually means that there is a demand. If you see all these loaves of bread on the supermarket would not allow these bakeries to bring the bread if it wasn't selling. They would say, no, we only sell 2 types. So we don't need 74 different brands, or these look more like 100. So the fact that your idea is being created by someone else or being sold by someone else is actually a good thing. Yeah, it means that there is demand. If there's competition, then there's demand. So how do we go to the market? Well, in the STAR system, in this framework, we have figured out the best way to do the market research. So we all know about market research, but when we're launching, we think, okay, do I hire a market research company? Do I do a poll on Insta? Do I do like a poll in Facebook? Okay, all of these are valid, but there are many different ways which are very up to date and which are much easier. They're just like Alexander's sword, which can cut through all the noise and get you to figure out which is the best product that I can launch so that I just get started and it's a hit on the market. So successful brand owners will tell you that it's always good to launch with one hero product, just a lean brand, maybe 1 or 2, a hero product which you know meets a specific need and it's going to wow the market. And once they're impressed with that one, then you can create the others or bring the others along. In manufacturing, because it's capital intensive, guesswork can be very expensive. So we teach in the STAR method of market research, we teach how to use the Amazon elimination method, which is really simple, but at the same time, it's so profound and it will help you figure out which is a bestseller, which one can I start with, boom, and it's on the market. This is an example of our hero product of our brand, Trisha's Naturals. So we got the research from our Facebook group and also from a few other places. And it helped us to figure out the exact needs of the naturalistas, the women in our community, what their hair needed, what it was lacking. And so when we released this, it's been a runaway bestseller. We get testimonials from not just African women, we've had even white women, we've had women who are Asians, we have some with relaxed hair, Habesha women, and they love this stuff. So it's really been a runaway bestseller, and it is selling now in several parts of the world. And it's because we did the STAR market research. And this is something that we teach you so that you can have the same type of success. So what we've covered so far, when you start your business with the storytelling structure and the unique type of market research, the insider market validation, then this leads to big money because you know that you have a winning product, you know you have a compelling story to sell it, and you're already there. You're already halfway there. So in launching your profitable beauty product business, those are the 2 pillars. Now we're going to cover the next 2 so that this business can also grow and scale and make you money in the long term. Because I noticed most of you said you're here because of a legacy. You'd like to build something that gives you time freedom. It creates a legacy where it can give employment to others and also for your families. So perhaps like me, when you started to embark on your business, you felt overwhelmed, maybe you felt a bit shaky, raise your hand, say yes if you find it a bit complicated to start a manufacturing business. If you find it easy, then that's great. Thank you for your time. I think you've already got the most from today's training, but if it's something that appears difficult, then yeah, then I was in the same boat. I had no clue how to start the business of manufacturing. Yes, thank you. I see in the chat. You've agreed with me. There was so much conflicting advice. People tell you this, people tell you that. The market trends keep on changing. A product that you think is hot today, tomorrow it's like old hat. You feel like you're in the dark because there's so much secrecy in this industry. You can't exactly just like call the CEO of one of these companies and say, hey, I want to make a shampoo. Where do I find the ingredients? Honestly, it can be very daunting. And then there's all these trade laws and tariffs and registrations and minimum order quantities. So personally, I delayed starting my business because I didn't have the answers. I didn't have reliable partners to help me with research and development. I didn't know who to ask. One Kenyan company that's very well known in the natural hair industry. In fact, they're quite big in the whole of Africa. They spent more than $20,000, that's over 2 million shillings, just on R&D. And there are some who spend that amount on just one product, research and development. Most of us don't have this kind of money to start throwing on R&D. So all of these things can be overwhelming. So if you've ever felt the same way, I have too. And that's why we came up with the A part of the STAR system. And this is going to help you cut through all of the overwhelm, save the money so that you don't have to waste it doing, all this, some unnecessary R&D. Some R&D is good, but a lot of it is just like over exaggerated. And the good thing is also when you have this system, you won't be paralyzed by fear. You won't be procrastinating because of not knowing the next step. So you're wondering, what does this picture have to do with a beauty business? How many of you have been to Dubai? Is this Dubai or UAE? I haven't been there yet, but we all know the Burj Khalifa. This is like the world's tallest building, or one of the world's tallest buildings, I believe. And it's actually 830 meters tall. So it's 3 times the height of the Eiffel Tower. And the reason I'm showing you this building is, how did it become so tall and so magnificent? Well, here on your right, you can see the foundations. They put some really, really deep and wide foundations in the desert to make this building. So that way they could build really, 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 really high. If you want your business to go far, to go wide, to be big, if you want to be the next Rihanna, or even if you aim to be Rihanna and you end up slightly lower, that's still going to be a resounding success, then you have to put the proper foundations. So all of this stuff that we have had to struggle with when we are starting, in the STAR system, we give it to you. We give you those foundations. And that is in the form of administration. We give you the systems that you need so that you can set up your business, and the only way is up. Yeah. So we can see over here some of the stuff that's needed when you're running the business. This doesn't have to be overwhelming. With the STAR system, we give you everything you need to know, whether it's the regulations, whether it is the templates, how do you work with a remote team during a time of Corona? Should you hire a social media person, or should you hire an accountant? What should you do at each step so that you don't waste money and you don't waste time? This is an example of what a business would need. Like, you need software, you need marketing, you need to be ready for investors in case somebody wants to buy equity in your beauty business. A lot of companies who are our peers, they've received either investment or they've received grants. So how do you go about preparing yourself to receive that money? How do you manage your team? What about payment gateways? How do you receive money from people both locally and in other countries? What about taxes? What about social media? How about CRMs, where you track the different customers so that you can market to them again? Operations, payroll, invoicing, content, analytics, benchmarks, formulations, all of that stuff can be really overwhelming, but not with the STAR system. With the administration tips that we give you everything, the templates. So it's like a business in a box. You just plug and play and it's working. So we've done the first three, and the next one, your dream business. The way you can build a dream business that grows and scales beyond even your wildest dreams is by trusting your systems, putting the systems in place, even when your business is very small, even when you're just whipping up the butters in your kitchen, you can put in systems so that it keeps on growing, and eventually you can be able to outgrow your business, whereby with the systems, you just sell it to somebody who's interested, or you hire somebody who will take over what you do. One lady, a friend of mine in South Africa, who I met when I went for training to learn how to formulate products, she has her own indie beauty brand, and she also has a salon. And she says, trust your systems, not your people, including yourself. So these systems will help you to grow your business, to avoid things like theft and all those things that plague small businesses when the owners don't really know what's happening. So that is something that we give you. Here's a tip. If you want to build a profitable business, the 3 wise men who you need before you even hire somebody in social media, or the 3 wise women, you need an accountant, a lawyer, and a banker. But how do you get them? Well, there are accountants and lawyers and bankers who charge very, very little. There are some who are very accessible, and they can help you grow your business. They can save you on so many taxes, on penalties, on things you don't even know, but they will help you grow. They'll give you access to funding. They'll help you have contracts so that you don't disagree with people or somebody doesn't steal your formulation. So all of these we cover in the STAR system. This is what the last part of the STAR system are. R is for resilience. It's for the right mindset, the millionaire mindset, where you can keep on going regardless of the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. Tony Robbins said that success is 80% psychology and 20% strategy. So you may or may not have the strategies. Most of us already have everything we need to succeed in terms of strategy. We know we need to do A, B, C, D. But why do so many fail? Why do so many new businesses fail within the first 1 year, the first 5 years? And the reason is the psychology. Usually the founder just doesn't have the resilience to deal with the ups and downs. So how do we get that? Well, in the STAR system, we teach that. We teach the right mindset so that we're able to have exercises, we're able to have systems, we're able to have daily routines so that we have everything you need to get out of your own way and get the success that you deserve. Yeah, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, Elon, who is from Africa here in South Africa, he says that sometimes being an entrepreneur is like chewing broken glass. It can be hard, but not when you have a team around you, not when you have a mastermind of people who are going through the same thing, or some have gone through it, they're ahead of you, others are in the same boat. So with this support, you can be able to make it through the toughest of times until you're able to have the happy endings like this lady right here. So just to recap what we've learned, the STAR system methodology includes 4 key steps that you have to take your business from zero to profitable launch. So in our masterclass, we've covered these 4 insider secrets that will give you a serious head start to success. They can help you cut through the knots of confusion, time wasting, and wasted money. You will know how to proceed, you'll have a clear path to success, and you'll be able to get ahead of the competition. So, like me, you can learn by standing on the shoulders of giants, by having mentors, coaches, and other gurus in the industry. And all of this is accessible to you with the STAR system. So here's what we've covered. Number 1 is the story. I hope this got you excited because we all have a story. And once we package it correctly, we can get lifelong customers who are so loyal to us because they resonate with our story. And then number 2, we learned that there are simple ways that we can use to validate our niche so that we are sure there's a demand for the product that we are creating even before we put it out on the market. Just like the iPhone, by the time they're releasing the next one, they have lines and lines of people banging on the shop door to open so that they can buy the iPhone. Wouldn't we all love that for our businesses? And the next thing we learned was administration, how the right systems put into place can help you grow and scale your business without wasting time and money. And the final thing is resilience. We learned how a millionaire mindset, having the right strategies and habits, can help you to get to the success that you deserve. So what will your success look like? What will your success look like? This is a chance for you to envision the life that you'd like. And you too can launch this legacy profitable brand. Once you have launched your lucrative beauty business, what would you stop doing in your life? It's a personal question. You can think about it. What would you stop doing in your life? Would you quit your job, build your parents that dream house, sleep in more? You'd stop staying at home and travel. You'd invest in cryptocurrency. What would you do, you know? So these are things to think about, because if you believe it and you visualize it and you have a plan, it can become a reality. So questions so far, has your time on this training been well spent? I sure hope so. I've enjoyed being with you guys. Would you like me to help you build your profitable product business? So if you've enjoyed the training so far and you've gotten the key points that you are looking for, we thank you for being here with us. For those who would like more, if you'd like to work with me, then this is your chance to stay and learn how we can do that. But for anybody who has already gotten the benefit of the training, then you're also welcome to leave. But we are very grateful that you are here with us. So you have 2 options, option A or option B. Option number 1, take what you've learned from the training today and take a stab at it and try doing it yourself. Or option B, you can work with me. And this is where I'd like to invite you to the Launch Your Beauty Brand Mastermind program. So you can 100% commit to launching your profitable beauty business using a proven roadmap, just like Alexander with his sword. How would you feel if you worked hand in hand with a beauty brand expert who has launched products that have generated millions in combined revenue? Here we are. This is the program. You're invited to join the mastermind. I'm going to tell you a bit more about it. The Launch Your Beauty Brand Mastermind is the only online training of its kind that shows you exactly how to create and launch your hair or skincare product business so that you can generate consistent revenue without wasting valuable time and money. Here's what you'll put into action when you join the program. You learn how to create your compelling brand story. You'll be able to nail down your product prototype. So this is from your idea, but actually creating it in terms of formulations, whether it's anhydrous, whether it has water in it, preservatives, fragrance, everything. It will also be able to pass KEBS and these other organizations around the world which have regulations for products. You'll be able to validate your product idea in the market. You'll be able to create your brilliant business plan. Not only is a business plan a roadmap for you as the founder, but it enables people to invest in your business, whether it's friends and family or bankers or venture capitalists who would like to buy equity from you. You'll be able to set up a deep foundation by putting smart, scalable systems in place. You'll be able to implement your sales and marketing strategy like a pro, and you will develop an unstoppable mindset. The Launch Your Beauty Brand Academy, what does that look like? It's a mastermind that is a 12-week business coaching journey. We're going to learn in the first module all about you and your brand. We're going to get to know you, do some soul searching so that we extract your winning story, your compelling story. And that's your unique selling proposition. Number 2, in module 2, you'll learn how to validate your product prototype. Module 3, you'll build your product from 0 to hero. Not all of us are formulators, but we can give you access to the formulators, whether it is in Kenya, whether it is in South Africa, whether it is in Taiwan, whether it is in the US. We have all of those in our networks. Module 4, foundations for production and scaling. Module 5, your winning sales systems. Module 6, the profitable business blueprint. Module 7, you learn how to grow and scale your hands-free business so that you have the freedom that you desire. So these are proven and tested strategies. And the beauty of this academy is that you don't have to go it alone. You have all the support. You're able to get mentoring and you're able to take action, which the market actually rewards. So with this system, the market is right for you to become the future Body Shop or the next Garnier, the next Nivea, Pantene, Lifebuoy. That could be you. So again, there are 3 things that we need to be successful. You need detailed yet simplified training, which this is what the STAR system will give you. You need support, you need accountability, and you need mentoring. Lastly, a proven roadmap that only an insider can give you straight from the trenches. So why should you work with me? Well, I'm passionate, I love teaching. I can give you the advice that has worked for me and that I've seen working for people around me. I can be a strategic partner because I'm also vested in your success. If you succeed, then it gives me a lot of satisfaction, plus it gives credibility to my business. At the same time, I have a large network. As a former journalist, I have a huge network. So if there's something we are unable to help you with, we can get you the right person who can help you. So I've walked the walk. I can hold your hand and take you from the start to the finish. That would be my privilege. Here we see Kipchoge. We always see him winning. We know he's the GOAT, but who don't we see? The guy behind him, the guy behind the scenes, his coach. As brilliant as Kipchoge is, he has a coach behind him who makes sure he's running, makes sure he's sticking to his diet, he's getting enough sleep, he's seeing his blind spots and overcoming them. So one of the bonuses you'd get from this academy is that you would have 6 months of life coaching with me. So I would be the coach to help you become the greatest, just like Kipchoge. We don't know who his coach is because the focus is on him, it's on his success. And my focus is on your success. Bonus number 2, you would get a formulator's research guide, a resource guide. So it would give you step-by-step all the details that you need in terms of formulating your products. It would not give you the formulations, but it would show you where to get them, how to get them, and all the shortcuts as well in terms of getting all the raw materials, whether in bulk or in smaller packs. Bonus number 3, you get a free website and e-commerce software so that you can launch your beauty brand with style and you can sell your products anywhere in the world. That's what you'd get from joining. So this, if you're ready for option 2 to work with me and you're committed to get your brand out into the world, again, I would like to invite you to join me inside the Launch Your Beauty Brand Academy. This shows that I do give a 30-day refund. I have a 30-day refund policy. A recap of what is included: you would get 1 hour weekly call with me for 12 weeks. You would have accountability calls for 12 months. You would have modules with all the lessons in a private membership site, which you'll be able to access for 1 year. Then you have templates for branding, for setting up, for your systems, as we talked about. You would have the product formulation resource guide, the e-commerce software, bonuses. For example, some are charged separately, like having your access to an accountant, web page design at really rock bottom prices from the team that has helped us with our business. So right now, the places are very limited because we are starting in September. But for those who are busy or are doing other things, you do have 1 year access, but the applications are closing when this September intake begins. So how can you apply to join the Launch Your Beauty Brand Academy? You can do so by booking a call on calendly.com/Trisha Wanjala. We'll just type that in the chat. Yes, somebody said so true, the secrecy. I'm just gonna type that so that you guys can book a chat. Sorry, so that you can apply. So book your application interview there so that we can see if you're a good fit for the academy. Who is this mastermind for? If you're serious about becoming a profitable beauty brand business owner so that you can have the lifestyle you want. We can, these are testimonials from some of the students who I have helped to launch their businesses. This is Paula. So she says that I helped her visualize and conceptualize her offer from idea to product launch. She launched within 3 months, and she's been able to impact women all over the world. Tabitha, she says, where would Kenya's natural hair community be without Trisha's Naturals? I love connecting with the fellow naturalistas on TN. Keep up the good work. She was giving a testimonial about the community that I created, because on Trisha's Naturals, we're all about growing together. Michelle said, as soon as I went natural, I joined Trisha's Naturals. So she's the founder of Marini Naturals. And in fact, they launched at an event that we were co-hosting. This was almost 7 years ago. So get started today. Thank you for your time this evening. Please go to this link right now and book an application call so that we can see if you're a good fit to join the Launch Your Beauty Brand Academy or Mastermind. We are calling it either an academy or a mastermind. So reserve that by booking your interview. We do have some scholarships available because, as you said, you're here because you want to launch your profitable business and leave a legacy and have the time freedom and make the money. Yeah, so please don't wait another year. A year from now, you'll wish you had started 2021. It may have been a year of ups and downs, but as we saw from Madam CJ Walker and these other good examples, that even during a recession, there's still a lot of money to be made in this industry. Okay, thank you very much. Could you type? Oh, type the link in the chat, sorry. Oh my goodness, yeah, I had typed it only to my colleague. Let me type it in. Launch Your Beauty. So we did promise a live Q&A session tonight. So we have about 5 more minutes so we can take some questions. Does anyone have any questions they'd like to share as you jump onto the link and book a call? I have questions. Yes, please ask them in the chat. Tanya. Yes, Tanya, please ask. Jem, could you kindly type the link again? I have questions. Can I turn on my audio? You can just type in the chat if you don't mind. And that way everyone can benefit because we're going to have the transcript and we'll be able to read the answers later. Read the questions later. Oh, that's a great question, Tanya. Do the brands put the exact ingredients on the label? It actually depends. Like, it depends on how compliant they are with the laws. Like with the FDA, the Food and Drug Association in the US, brands are supposed to write, especially in order of the highest concentration to the lowest concentration. But some of the brands, they don't do it. If they get caught, they'll be in big trouble, but there are some who just don't. Also, some brands do not put it in the correct concentrations because they don't want somebody to reverse formulate and steal their formulation. So they'll mix it up. They'll mix up the ingredients. I mean, that one will not get them into trouble, but you as a consumer, you won't be able to know how big a percentage of a certain product is there, whether it's just, you know, fairy dust for claims or whether it is the bulk of the formulation. In Kenya, I actually had a conversation with a lady, a chemical engineer at one of the government research facilities where they train people how to make cosmetics. And she said that many brands don't put the full list of ingredients. So it just depends really on the ethics of the owner of the company. Most people, I would hope they do, but not everybody. And sometimes they change the formulations, but they don't write that. So that's a great question that you asked. And of course, we will dive deeper into that in the STAR program. This program will be on for a whole year. So you'll be able to have access to it if you register for the September intake, even if you want to just learn slowly over the course of the year. Because once the enrollment closes this time, it will hopefully reopen after another year, or we might pivot in a different direction depending on what our clients request from us. Okay, there's another question I see here. How much time do you as an entrepreneur spend on non-income producing activities to run your business? Malindi, is it how much time do I spend or how much time you spend? Or just entrepreneurs in general? Yeah, okay, I would say the answer to that really depends a lot on you. Oh, me specifically. I gotcha. Well, I'm thankful because I was able to hire a really good team. So I have a team of people who are helping me. I do involve myself quite a bit when it comes to crucial things, like whenever we do production, I'm there to make sure that each batch of whatever we are making meets the standards that I have set for it. So I don't know if that's income producing. I have somebody who helps me with social media, someone else helps me with design. I have a PA who helps me to run the business and make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. And then we have somebody who helps us with all the accounting. We have a developer. We're currently hiring somebody in sales. So I try very hard to focus on the high level income producing activities rather than doing like the tiny things. But of course, when I started, I was doing everything. At the beginning of last year, I was doing everything. I was formulating, I was mixing, I was packing, I was labeling, I was hawking the products, I was doing all the calls, I was, you know, taking them to cabs and, you know, building the website. I built my website myself when I first started doing all the social media. So I'm thankful because now I can delegate and then I can be able to have my business almost run itself. Like I have the remote control. I'm still making sure things are moving the way they should. And of course, you know, every day there are different things that come up, but I've been able to free a lot of my time so that I can either focus on income generating activities or even on other things which I'm passionate about. Like I enjoy doing a lot of community service. I'm a stay-at-home mom, I'm a homeschooling mom. So I spend a lot of time with family. So thankfully my business allows me to do that. I hope I've answered your question. Thank you, Tanya. How do you go about forming a team and delegating? Yeah, it can be tricky because sometimes if you delegate too much, too fast, then, I mean, it's like you have a baby and you just give the baby to the first person who walks in and says, hi, I'm a nanny. I mean, you might find that instead of giving your baby milk, they give him beer. So yeah, there are some hard lessons that we learned, not to be too quick to delegate, but also you can't be like a control freak. Otherwise you'll never sleep and you'll never have any work-life balance. So that's what we learned. I actually hired consultants who helped me to systematize. I had a virtual assistant, so she put these things in place. There's softwares that we use, and those really help to just keep the whole team on track. You don't have to tell them, hey, have you done this, done that? It's it's already there, you can see. So the software helps, and also advice of people who have been there. Thankfully, I'm quite friendly with the other ladies in Kenya who are running similar businesses, like the owners of some of the brands I really admire. Thankfully, I'm able to call them and ask their advice, and they share. So that also helped me to put these things in place and to come up with this framework so that I can teach others, and then they don't have to go through all the stress that we went to at the beginning, because burnout is real. And I mean, last year I did get burnt out. It's real. It's something so many entrepreneurs go through, but it doesn't have to be you. You don't have to go through burnout. In fact, if you're going through burnout, then you're not an entrepreneur, you're self-employed. And being self-employed is the worst, because you're the worst boss. You know, if you have a boss, no matter how mean he or she is, once you go home and you clock off, you're free. But when you're your own boss, when you're a solopreneur, not an entrepreneur, you don't even give yourself time off. It's Sunday and you're working. It's a holiday, you're with your family and you're thinking, oh, I need to do this and that. So these systems are going to help you to just hand over the baby very fast while supervising still, but from far, so that you can actually have some fun. Yes, thank you. I see in the comments, work-life balance. Lillian, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. I've had to learn it over the years, because burnout, no, it should not be our portion. You can have a business that gives you ease and abundance. It doesn't have to be painful. You don't have to struggle so much. It doesn't have to be so hard. So that's what we really believe. Malindi, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Remalia. I really hope you guys have applied. You've signed up to book an application call. Thank you for your time this evening, and we look forward to seeing you soon, hopefully inside the LYBB. But if not, then we do have a Facebook group. You can still keep on chatting with us. Jem, someone says, Malindi. Jem, thank you so much, Jemima. Have a lovely evening. And it was great getting to know you a few days ago. So looking forward to seeing you again. And we have time for one more question. Malindi says, I'm struggling with figuring out the packaging process. Packaging, nowadays packaging is so much easier than it was when we started. Honestly, 3 years ago, packaging was such a headache. So that's why I had to figure out how to get packaging from the US, packaging from South Africa. People get it from China, but China, I've not found anyone who really does small quantities. I mean, there's Alibaba, but they have their ups and downs. But packaging, it can be a bit of a bear, but it just depends on, is it packaging for skincare, for hair care? There's ways around it. And nowadays there's so many people who are bringing in packaging. And if you're not in Kenya, there are companies that can ship to you. Some even in Italy, they make amazing packaging and their prices are really good. It doesn't have to always be China. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, sorry, the chat had gone back to the beginning. Packaging designers, do they mass produce the packaging on top of designing too? It just depends. It just depends. I mean, the big companies like Hako Industries and Tony Airo and Interconsumer, L'Oreal, they actually go and get a mold that's specially made that has this particular bottle, and they pay the company, the plastics company, to make their mold. And nobody else can buy the bottles that come from that mold because they pay to patent it. But the smaller companies, they're able to access the generic type of packaging if it's locally manufactured. And if you want internationally manufactured, then you either buy through a retailer or through a broker. You get your people in China, or you just get a company to formulate for you and pack it and label it and ship it to you. Yeah. Where can we find the recording? Oh, not the container, the box or the bag. Yeah, that's a great question. And it's I don't have the answer offhand because I'm not the one who handles our packaging, but we can always do research and hopefully we can get back to you. Or again, if you join us inside LYBB, you'll be able to get all of these, including all their contacts. Thank you so much, ladies. I'm so grateful that you shared your evening with me. And thank you, Sam. And we'll see you guys later on the application course.